Hey everyone, this week I want to talk about shadow work and spiritual bypassing. And instantly, like as soon as I mention it, my head goes into a spin out. And I'm talking about this subject because basically it's something that I work with obviously when I'm doing energy healing sessions. There's a lot of times where I have done a lot of shadow work and I do a lot on myself. And I do and I have experienced it in sessions that I've had with other facilitators or therapists, as well as events, breathwork events and that sort of thing that I've gone to. Now, I thought I'd begin by just going to the definition of both. So if we look at the overview here online, I've got shadow work is the process of exploring and integrating the unconscious parts of the psyche, including repressed fears, traumas, and negative emotions, to foster self-knowledge and personal growth. It was a concept that was popularized by Carl Jung. It involves bringing these hidden aspects to a conscious level to understand their influence and develop a more balanced and authentic self. Methods include journaling, meditation, active imagination, and therapy to address both perceived negative and positive parts of self. And I know I've had, and if you've listened to any of the MS story interviews or podcasts that I've done, I've gone down the path of psychologists and psychiatrists over the years. So have done a lot of that kind of work with professionals, as well as working through personal development to do that kind of work as well on myself. Journaling, yes, definitely. Meditation, I found working on those layers very much in a yoga session has been very powerful for me. And I just will ask, particularly I work a lot with Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael, and even Archangel Metatron, to help to see things and to shift shadow and energy around stuff that I'm picking up about me. And it's a work in progress, it's a constant. I'm always working through stuff. Even right now as I make this video, I am working through psyche stuff that is shadowy for me and needing to step out and step up. You know how long it has taken me all day just to get to record this video for you. That's how much, even the day-to-day actions in our day-to-day work can be shadow work. And let's look at spiritual bypassing. This is more of a bugbear, I think. So when I Google spiritual bypassing, it is the use of spiritual beliefs and practices to avoid dealing with unresolved emotional issues, psychological wounds, and human experiences. It is a form of psychological avoidance where one might focus excessively on positivity, detachment, or transcendence to sidestep pain, grief, or negative emotions. This can lead to superficial sense of well-being as the underlying issues are never addressed and healed. And we can do this in so many different ways, and it doesn't necessarily need to be, being excessively positive. Like, there's a lot of things that we can do in life, and I have been doing them this year as well, and it's possibly testament to where I'm at right now with things that I'm working through personally and professionally, where I've avoided by doing things like watching Korean dramas. I don't know if anyone has addictions, or reading books and things like that take me out of. But a lot of that I can also attest to bypassing as self-care, because at the time I was just feeling so wounded and so needing time out from spiritual that I needed to exit and just do something completely outside of this spiritual side of things. So dealing with unresolved emotional issues, psychological wounds, and human experiences, focusing on excessively on positivity, like love and light is one of those bypassy kind of things that you might notice out there. To deny the shadow is also something that, you know, I'm thinking at the moment, just with what's going on for me and what I've discussed with people that in recent weeks, days, with regards to where I'm at and what I'm working through with stuff that I am conquering for me and not bypassing anymore. They will keep showing up. These things, these shadowy things, will keep showing up for you until you face them and work out where they're coming from and a strategy or a way to move past it. And you'll see a lot of it on posts on social media as well. And I've spent a lot of time on there seeing it too. And that's another bypass as well, because it's the scroll. But it's also enlightenment in some respects, because you're seeing it. That I'm feeling stuck here. While we can go down the path of doing the things that are going to make us feel better and bypassing the shadowy feelings and what's hurting and what's hard and what's consistently showing up as hard. Oh, it's really hard for me to say this. It is like we do end up detaching ourselves from the reality, and then it comes back to bite us hard in the end. And I know I was listening to podcast yesterday, and it was an interview with John Edward, the psychic medium channeler, and he was talking about a lot of stuff to do with, and it's no coincidence that I was probably listening to it before recording this, that, you know, when we come down as souls, I think someone had a question about suicide. Sorry if this is a sensitive topic for people, but he was saying, and if we look at it in this respect, if you're finding it hard and you want to opt out in this lifetime, this is a pretty harsh example, but I believe it to be true. I felt right when he said it to me, and because I've been in that situation where I've been in a place where I've felt like that many times in my lifetime, even in recent times, where you're still going to have to deal with whatever it is that is causing you to feel like you don't want to be here anymore as a soul in any future experience or incarnation, or even in the other side of the rainbow bridge, basically. So why not? And I've said it as well to myself when I've felt that way, that I'm determined to deal with it now. I want to face it now, and I want to work through it and find the answer and find my way through whatever things are being a consistent shadow for me to work on in this lifetime, so that I can be free of it and face it and do something, do the hard things to conquer it, to not be spiritually bypassing the shadow. It is not easy, guys. It is why healers, therapists, Reiki practitioners, kinesiologists are out there, even psychologists and psychiatrists for the best part. They're out there to help us, to mentor us, to hold our hand through these hard things that we are working through as a soul in this human experience. And it ain't easy, and it ain't probably the best way to spiritually bypass with love and light all of the shadow that we're finding is constantly coming at us. I don't think it's realistic to say that yes, it is great to be that way, and it is, and I've been attempting to, and the more I attempt to try and stay in that love and light, positive energy around these things, and avoiding doing, itchy head, avoiding by doing things that make my headspace feel happier and feel more at peace, and doing the things, there are things that you can do that will help with that, but at the end of the day, the work needs to be done to understand, acknowledge, and know what it is that is needing to be shifted for you in the shadow side of things. Whether it's just a simple acknowledgement and a ho'oponopono, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, on a particular situation that you're constantly faced with that is a shadowy kind of thing, or whether it is taking a strategy and actually finding a way through, working through the actual problem that is a consistent problem in your life that you are never fully, completely let go from. And it feels like it's a shadow that is always turning its head and coming at you because you're not facing it. And it's been, for me, it's the financial thing. That's for me. That is one of my big bugbears, and it's my self-worth and worthiness and shame and all those kind of emotional things around me that has caused me to be constantly feeling lack and feeling less than and feeling like, dare I say it, the I can't words in my headspace. So where's that coming from? Is for me to work through, and it's like a daily thing. It's a daily process, and it's something that I can work through on my own, particularly. And a lot of this shadow stuff at this point in time, we are very much needing to take, I'm getting burps, it's like, if anyone knows me and my healing, it's like unblocking blocks around things, and I'm feeling like it's unblocking for me right now, that whole being empowered to make the moves that are going to create the sovereignty, the abundance of financial freedom, but also at the same time, I was hearing myself, as an example this morning, saying, but I don't want it to be about the money because it feels icky. Everything feels icky that you want to do something in life because you need the money. That's not why I want to do things. I don't want that to be why I want to do things. Yes, it feels great to have that exchange and be able to buy someone lunch or pay your bills, or buy the things to make the altar that I want to create over it on the side of the healing studio, or get the comfy chair so I can sit in this comfy, podcasting chair every time I speak a podcast, or do all the renovations that I want to do, and go on the trips that I want to go on, and see the people that I want to see, and go to the experiences and the retreats and the events, and to the therapists that I would like to work with, or do the courses that I would like to do to, grow my knowledge, because I like to grow my knowledge. But there's things that, for me to be able to do that, I'm working through on the shadow side, which are only there for me to deal with. There comes to a point where you might not be having the resources in order to work with, say, someone like me. So you need to find a way through whatever the blocks are to get through that on your own. And that's why that is happening. That is part of the shadow. How resourceful can you be? Where can you dig deep from? Or just trust, because that seems to be a lot of the message I've consistently got, and I've been going through old YouTubes here on this channel in the last week, from 5 years ago, 6 years ago even, and they're all telling me, and I'm channeling, to trust and be gentle. Why? What is it that, as an example again, and this is, as you work through stuff, journal it, work through it, notice it, acknowledge it, note it, even make a vlog about it, you'll notice there's patterns, and you'll also see that there's a way that you're not hearing or acting upon, that if you just did what the guidance was telling you from your higher self of 100% divine light, from your guides of 100% divine light, that you would get through whatever this shadow work that you're working through for yourself is. And if you have the resources to get help, then go for it. You've got the resources for a reason. You're unhappy with resources. Why not help yourself through the sadness or whatever shadow that you're feeling, or the frustration or the annoyance or whatever it might be, anger, resentment. Work with someone to help you see or peel back those layers, and it makes it faster in a lot of respects. Like having a healing session, like when I do energy work and clear the layers, I see it every time. We clear the layers, we play the bowls, even the frequency. Frequency is a powerful thing. Can just like download. And even these sprays, like I sprayed before I hopped on Archangel Gabriel, soul calling and guidance, just to connect in with that white light energy and that channel, as well as Archangel Jophiel, the beauty and wisdom, because I wanted to come with, a beautiful wisdom, like with whoever I'm channeling in and the energy that I'm channeling in. And these sprays are very like potent and very pure, and I find the channels extremely gracious and pure when I bring them through on that. And then they help me connect to my higher self. I check in before I hopped on, I checked in with my energy to make sure that I was clear and balanced and, connected with 100% pure divine light before I started talking. Despite the fact that my head was spinning, I know for me, my head's spinning. Yes, that could mean, but it also can mean that it's an uncomfortable thing that I'm talking about. And this subject, for me, as you might have noticed, I'm a bit squirmy, is uncomfortable, because I'm talking about my own stuff when I do this, because I want it to be a demonstration to you that I'm doing the work too, so I know where you're at. If you do work with me, and I am creating a program of a 12-month mentorship to work with me on like a healing journey, particularly for those going through chronic conditions, because a lot of us have these chronic conditions because of these things, these shadows that we've worked through our lifetime, that once we help to alleviate them, we start to thrive. And it's a consistent, like you will get through some stuff and then maybe you'll be ready for the next thing. So it's an honest work through life thing. Some of us have more than others. Some of us can just have one or two things and then we're like, whoa, all good. But yes. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I hope you understand the topic that I'm talking about. And if you have any questions, concerns, or are seeking my assistance, as an example, with your shadow, and you don't want to be continuing to spiritually bypass with love and light, because you know the shadow's there and it's exhausting sometimes when it's there knocking on your door, or it trips you up, no matter how good you're doing it, no matter how good you're doing life, how positive you live in it, how positive you are being with your affirmations every day, and your kumbayas and your oms and your mudras and all that. Still we can get tripped up, and that repetitive tripped up is usually a topic of something that's a repetitive thing. So let's look at that. Come to me, book a session, and put down that thing, that particular thing, and that's the intention we will set on the healing session. And we will find out where that root cause is lying. And it might be something simple, or it might be something that requires, like things, you work through different layers of it. So it could be something worth working through over a period of time, depending on how often and how long you've been going through the same, dare I say it, shit that keeps hitting the fan every so often. that is the same kind of stuff that you're working through, to the same kind of topic, to the same type of thing. Trust me, I know it, I have it. I have more than one, but I have one in particular at the moment that is a big bugbear, and it intertwines with a lot of things, and it's messing up a lot of stuff. So I get it. I know where you're coming from, and I'm prepared to work through it with you. So reach out. Link below, inspiredrobyn.com is my website, and you can book a session, book a discovery call, and let's just talk for like 15, 20 minutes about it. Tap in, just tap in a little bit and get a few hints. I'll tap in with my guidance, with my intuitives, my spirit team, and we'll see what we can pick up. Pull a card maybe even, and just get an idea and see where we can begin to help you get through the shadow and stop bypassing with all your love, light and beautiful stuff. That it works, yes, it's a band-aid, it's great, and it's a great way to be about life, but it doesn't always keep the shadow, and often never really works the shadow away. We have to sometimes face it. We can do it on our own, or we can do it with friends, with community. Okay, leave it there. See you next week. Bye for now.